Now we move to the grammar part in lesson C. Present simple tense. With the pronoun I, the verb without S. For example, I study English every day. With the pronoun we, again the verb without S. For example, we go to school every day. With the pronoun you, the verb is still without S. For example, you eat a sandwich every day. So with I, we, and you, no S at the end of the verb. With the pronoun they, we still have no S at the end of the verb. For example, they drank milk. To sum up, with I, we, you, and they, put the verb without S. With I study, we go, you eat, they drink, no S at the end of the verb in present simple. With the pronoun he, we put S or ES or IES at the end of the verb. For example, the verb study here, we changed the final Y to IES because it comes with the pronoun he. And the case is the same with she, and also if it has a singular subject, we put IES. If the verb ends with Y, before Y, consonant sound, which is not A or E or I or O or U, we change the final Y into IES. With the pronoun she, again we put S or ES or IES. For example, she goes to school every day. Here we didn't put IES and we didn't put S. We put ES. Why? Because here the verb ends with O. If the verb ends with O, with the pronoun he, she, it, or singular subject, by singular subject I mean only one, we put ES at the end of the verb. Another example, with the pronoun it, which refers to an animal or a thing, which is not man or woman, we put S or ES or IES. For example, it plays in the garden every day. Remember that here we put S only. We didn't change Y to IES. Why? Because here before the Y we have vowel. But here we changed Y to IES. Why? Because before the Y we have consonant. So the rule, if the subject is he or she or it, and the verb ends with ch or sh or o or x or ss, we put es. For example, pass, passes, relax, relaxes, do, does, catch, catches. Remember, if the verb ends with a, I, e, or o, or u, and y, you add s only. When, if the subject is he or she or it. He plays, she says, he plays every day, she says good morning every day. Here we put s, we didn't change y to ies because we have a or I or e or o or u before the final y. But if the verb ends in Y and no A, no I, no E, no O, no U, I mean you have consonant letter, you change Y into IES when if the subject is he or she or it. For example, Harry, Harry's. Notice here, pay attention here. We cut the Y and changed it to IES. For example, she hurries to work every day. Study. We have D before the Y. So we changed Y to IES. He studies every day. Now we study that with verb ends with SHCH, X or SS or O. We put ES with he, she, and it. Do, does. He does the homework. Kiss, kisses. She kisses the cat every day. Catch, catches. It catches a mouse every day. relaxes. He relaxes every day. This is an exercise. He studies, YS, or studies, IES, or study English every day. We have the subject he, and we have present simple, the time word every day. So which one is the correct answer? We will see later. She goes, only S, or goes with ES, or go without any ending with the pronoun she. Which one is correct? Of course, I know that you know the correct answer because when the she, we put es at the end of the verb. With if the verb ends with o, it plays. We change y to ies, or plays. We leave the y the same without it changing and put s, or play without any ending in the garden every day. I studies, or I study, or I studies every English every day. I know it is the same. Here a mistake. I want to say I studies or study or studied, but I made a mistake here. Sorry. We goes or we go or we goes with es, or we go to school every day. Which one is correct? You eat or eats with es. They drink or drinks. They drinks or drink or drinkies with es, milk every day. We see the correct answers now. Here are the list of the correct answer. Of course, here we don't use any ending because the subject we, you, they, and I. And here we put IES because the verb ends with the Y before Y we have D. Here we put ES because the verb ends with O and the subject is singular, the pronoun she. And here we put s only because the verb ends with y. Before y we have vowel letter. And here in the number 4, 5, 6, 7, the verb remains the same without any endings because the subject is I, we, you, they. What happened? When this happened? In present simple only. Another exercise. Which one is correct here? I studies or I study? Remember that we don't put IES except when the subject is he, she, it. With I, it will be the same. We plays or play or play. Some students will say plays, but I will say no because only S if the subject is he or she or it. You studies or you study or you studied English every day. Here, some students will choose studies because you will say, oh, we bought Y, we change Y to IES. Yes, I know that's correct, but not with you, not with the pronoun you. You make this with the pronoun he, she, or it. The Harrys or Harry or Harry. Which one is correct? Of course, we will choose this one because we don't put S or IES if the subject is we or you or they or I. We put only S or IES or ES if the subject is he or she or it. And here we are. Here we have the feedback or answer sheet to check your answers. How to make negative in present simple? The main rule is use don't and the first verb with I, we, you, they. We, you play football. You don't play football. I play football. I don't play football. We play football. We don't play football. They play football. They don't play football. All the sentence use don't with we, you, I, and they. When does this happen? This happens in present simple only to make negative sentence. Okay. Negative sentence with he, she, and it. The main rule says use he, she, it plus doesn't plus the first verb. Don't forget to cut the final S or ES and change IES into Y again. When if you use doesn't with he, she, or it, he studies every day. Some students will say he doesn't studies. No, 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 no. He doesn't study every day. Remember to change this verb studies and to make it go back to the infinitive again or the first verb again. With doesn't, we use the first verb. Once again, with doesn't, we use the first verb. By the first verb, what I mean? We cut S or ES or IES. She kisses the cat every day. She doesn't kiss the cat. What happens to the ES? We cut it. Why? Because we use the doesn't. He relaxes every day. Negative, he doesn't relax every day. What happened to the ES here? We cut it. Why did we cut it? Why did we cut it? Used because we used doesn't to make negative. It plays in the garden every day. It doesn't play in the garden every day. Okay. Look, cut IES. Look, cut ES. Don't forget that, please. Remember to cut ES and don't forget to cut the final S if there's any. Okay. Remember, with doesn't, cut S, ES, or IES. Remember that, please. This is a common mistake. How to make a question, yes, no question. Simply, with do, with I, we, you, they, we use do plus I, we, you, they, and the first verb. You play football. Do you play football? I play. Some people say, are you play football? No, we can't use are because we don't have R in the main sentence, and we can't use I outside the sentence. We can't bring R from outside the sentence. We only bring R if we have it in the main sentence. If we have R, we use R, but if we don't have R, we can't use it. I know that you takes R, but when does this happen? It happens if we have R in the sentence. But if we don't have R in the sentence, don't please bring R from outside the sentence. No, you only verb that you can bring here is the verb do. It will be, do you play football? I play football. Do I play football or do you play football? It is the same. You can say, do I play football or do you play football? Both are correct. It depends on what do you mean. If you are asking a question for other people, you say do you. But if you ask people about yourself, you want to know you will play for with them or not, you say, do I play football? Like this. We play football. Do we play football or do you play football? Remember, please don't bring the R here. All the students, most of them say, are we play football? No, you can't bring R from outside the sentence. You can only use R if you have it in the main sentence. Don't forget that, please. They play football. Do they play football? Do they play football? Now we study how to make question, yes, no question, with he, she, and it, or singular subject. He plays football. Remember that we put S here. But in the question, we start with does. Does he play football? And we cut the final S. She hurries to work. I mean, she goes fast to work. Does she hurry to work? What happened to the IES here? We cut it because we used the does. Don't forget that, please. Some people say, is she hurry? And some people say, is he play? And some people say, is it catch? You can't use is. You can't use is if you have question like this. He plays football and he may asks you to make question. You have to use does. You can't say is because is not in the main sentence. It is not written here. You can't see any is here. You can't see any is here. You can't see any is here. If you see is, use is. If you don't see is, don't please use it. Use does. Okay. Here are some questions. Does or do I study English? Does or do she hurry to work? Does or do we go to school? Does or do they go drink milk? Does or do it catch a mouse? Mouse here, MOUS, sorry. Does or do you watch TV? And here are the model answers. Of course, do I, does she, do we, do they, does it, do you. Now, how to make WH question. WH question is a question asking for an information, for time, for place, for thing, for a man, for a woman. It is asking for information. It doesn't only ask for yes or no, like yes, no question. It is asking for information. For example, I go to school every day. What is the main rule here? The main rule, use a question word like when, where, what, how, and then use do. If you have I, we, you, they, or plural subject. Plural subject like the children. Plural subject like the word that ends with S. Like here, teachers. Like here, girls. In that case, you use do. For example, I go to school every day and I want you to ask a question using where. We will see the answer now. Yes, that's correct. Where do I or where do you go every day? Remember, don't put the answer in the question. Some students say, where do I go to school every day? If you say school here, so what are you asking about? If you put the answer in the question, so why do you make the question? I can't say, what's your name, Muhammad? I can't say, where do you go to school every day? I can't say, what is the time? It's 5 o'clock. I can't put the answer in the question. So remember to use do if you have I or we or they. Remember to cut the answer from the question. Another example, we have breakfast at 7 every day. Use what time? What time like when? But what time asking for hours, and when asking for days and month and years. But you can use when to ask for for ask for hours also. It's okay. We have breakfast at 7 every day. Put the question word, yes, what time. We have the pronoun we, that means that we use the helping verb do, and we change we to you or leave it the same, no problem. And then we use the main verb, which is have, and then we complete the rest of the question, but we cut the answer. The answer here is 7 o'clock. Let's see the answer. What time do you or we have breakfast every day? Good. They like sports because they are interesting. Use why. The question word why. The helping verb do. The subject they. And the verb like without any endings. And the rest of the question. The rest of the question. And we cut the answer from here. Because they are interesting is the answer. So we don't write the answer in the question. The children go to school by bus. Use how. So we put the question word again, good, how, and we use the helping verb do because we have the verb without s. If you have the verb without s and you have plural subject, some people say plural subject, but we don't have s. Yes, because it is irregular plural. The singular is a child. Child means a kid, and the plural is a children. Not all the plural words in English end with s. The word people, plural, but doesn't end with s. The word children, plural, and doesn't end with us also. So pay attention, please. The question will be how, yes, how do the children go to school? Don't put by bus here because it is the thing you are asking about. The teachers work in the school. The question will be what do the teacher do in the school? What do the teacher do? Sorry, I made a mistake here. We should put question mark here in this question. What do the teachers do in the school? We have put question mark. Okay. The girls go to the swimming pool on Friday. I want to use when. When is asking about time. The time here is not an hour. The time here is a day. So the question will be, when do the girls go to the swimming pool? Okay. Last thing today. WH question or questions that ask about information like place, like things, like people, like time, but with he, she, or it. It is the same like I, we, you, and they, except only one change. You use does with he, she, it. Use does. Please don't use is. Please don't forget to cut the final s. He goes to school every day. Use where. We put the question word where. The verb ends with es, not s. Es because the verb was go with ending with o, but we put es because if the verb ends with o with the pronoun he or she or it, we put es. So we put the question word where, we put the helping verb does, and we put the subject he, and we put the verb one without es. So where does he go every day? And why we didn't write school? Because it is the answer. Yes, where does he go every day? Where does he go every day? She has breakfast at 7 every day. She has breakfast at 7 every day. Use what type? So we put the question word and we put the helping verb. Well, the helping verb will be does. It will not be is It will not be is. It will be does. It will be does. You can't use is. You can't use is. You can't use is. Okay. What time does she? Remember that when you use does, you have to change the verb has or use the first verb. The first verb was have. So, what time does she have breakfast every day? What time is asking for hours. So we will not write at 7 because this is the answer. Sally likes sports because they are interesting. Use why. The question will be question word why, helping verb does, subject Sally, and the first verb like. What will happen to because they are interesting? We will not write it because it is the answer. So the question will be why does Sally like sports? Why does Sally like sports? Next, the student goes to school by bus. Ask question use how. The question word how. The helping verb does. The subject, the student all together. You can't write student only, you can't write the only. You have to write the student and you can't use is. Remember that, please. How does the student go to school by how does the student go to school? And what's the question mark? Don't forget that, please. You can't use is except you see is in the main sentence. If you see is, use it. If you don't see is, use does. Okay. How does the student go to school? How does the student go to school? How does the student go to school? Next, the teacher works in the school. The teacher works in the school. Question will be, yes, what does the teacher do in the school? Why we use to do here? Because we are asking about the verb. We are asking about work. So we can't put work. So we replace it or change it with the verb do. If you want to ask about any verb, you replace it with the verb do. Always the same. The teacher works in the school. What does the teacher do in the school? The student plays in the playground. What does the student do in the playground? My mother cooks in the kitchen. What does your mother do in the kitchen? My father works in the office. Why? What does your father do in the office? Like that. The cat drinks milk in the morning. The cat drinks milk in the morning. Question will be, when does the cat drink milk? When does the cat drink milk? Again, we use the question word when. We used the helping verb does. We used the subject the cat, which is a subject in noun, not subject pronoun, and it has two words but refer to one thing. Two words refer to one thing. And we used the verb drink without s, and we put the rest of the question and we cut the answer, which is in the morning. Thank you for listening. This will be everything for today. And tomorrow we are going to have a worksheet and we are going to discuss it together. Thank you.